All right, hello everyone, and now welcome to a 2v2, or not 2v2, a 4v4 matchup. This is going to be China versus Korea. Let me get the names here down first. It is going to be Sock, Moon, Focus, and Labyrinth going up against Yumiko, Fly, Shao Kai, and In Vain. All right, on the southern side, we have Yumiko spawning as well, there's going to be a human. Insomnia is right off over there. Pom Pom, and finally, who is Pom Pom? Pom Pom is In Vain, and then finally off over here we have Fly. Off to the north we have Night Elf of Moon. Focus is the Orc. I believe Sock is the human, and then last but not least we have Labyrinth as the Undead. So yep, a 4v4 matchup. Hopefully I can keep up with all of the action going on all around the map. My apologies if I have to zoom out. These battles can get rather massive, difficult to try and keep track of everything that's happening. You'll understand if I have to zoom out a bit more than I already normally do in here on this map, just because, well, we can actually have close to 300 close to 400 supply fights happening at the same time. Now, I'm taking a quick look here. Let's turn off Fog of War. There's a relatively easy creep camp just outside on the other side there, and also another, well, I believe that's an orange creep camp. Where is the next green creep camp? Up. All right, so there's two green creep camps here, one on either side of this little corral fence. Meanwhile, another set of green creep camps off in the corners of the map as well. So everyone has options to try and clear out green creep camps. There are taverns strategically located. There are laboratories as well on the north and south side. So if you want to do some sort of, Goblin Zeppelin play, that does work. It appears that it looked like that was nightfall for a second, or you can actually see kind of over these walls, but maybe not past these little corners. So interesting line of sight mechanics here on the map, as the footman is still rounding about by Yumiko. Yumiko doing a little bit of scouting, trying to figure out what is happening. Focus already out on the field with a Farseer and dual Spirit Wolves, as we are looking at, well, some creeping coming across from a Sock. All right, gonna clear out this creep camp pretty easily. Frost armor applied to multiple units. That's going to make things a little bit difficult to try and clear up. Meanwhile, the Farseer ready to put in some pressure in on the main base. Water Elemental about to get taken down. No, Water Elemental able to back off in time, but that could turn into free experience for Sock if Sock is able to come across here in a little bit. Here we are. There you go. Are we going to see engagement onto that Water Elemental, trying to pick up that last item? There's a deny there as the engagements are ready. Farseer of Focus ready to take down a couple of those peasants. Unable, is it going to be able to slip inside there? It looks as though it will be able to slip inside and get that final shot, and, well, resummoning a couple of Spirit Wolves in order to back up and retreat. Farseer Wolves trying to engage here. Meanwhile, back down to the south side, Archmage going to go after the Rogue on the southern positions, and there is just engagements all across the map. Farseers are harassing both on the north and southern side. The main difference is that the southern side, I believe the Chinese players have an additional Orc player and do not have a Night Elf. Focus going to try and engage here, take down a couple of these Rogues. Meanwhile, the Archmage rounding off to the north here. We see a couple of Headhunters and Footmen slowly making their way down as well. Interesting call, as, well, Moon just doing a little bit of creeping over here by himself. Archmage may try and set up, or Militia clear out of this creep camp here. More units coming across. Death Knight with Unholy Aura. Who's going to get that last bit of experience? That is the question. It looks as though the experience went to the Archmage here, as the Farseer now trying to double back around. Archmage does have Cloak of Shadows, able to hide in the middle of the fight to lose aggro a bit, as the Footmen do have defend. Farseer being forced to back up here, and In Vain forced to retreat back, as Yumiko now trying to retreat as well. There's a Death Coil, a lot of poking happening across, as the Farseer trying to get in some last couple of kills, finish off this Footman here. Footman now down to 82 hit points. Death Coil could easily finish off here. Farseer may just be able to get in enough auto attacks. One more auto attack should be enough to do it. No, two more auto attacks, maybe. No, Archmage gonna deny it there, as that Footman does get taken down. All right, Water Elemental down to, well, 54 hit points. One or two more shots going to finish it off there. It finally gets taken out as well, as the Headhunters ready to put in pressure. Meanwhile, Tauren Chieftain of Fly already at level 3. Farseers Pom Pom's Farseer, or Invane's Farseer, still sitting at level 1 after all this time. The Headhunters are going to have quite a bit of damage as we are teching the tier 2 by Fly. Alright, Death Knight. Death Knight, Archmage, and the Tauren Chieftain now coming in around the far side here. Footman quickly with the Fen trying to reflect back some of that damage. And here we are, here we go. There's a shockwave ripping on through. Archmage trying to shut things down here at the Arcane Tower before it starts feeding back mana. Tauren Chieftain at level 3 alongside the Death Knight now at level 3 as well. Death Knight may try to get off some level 2 Death Coils, finishing off a couple more of those peasants. Both sides fighting through. Arcane Tower quickly taking up. Death Knight now trying to retreat or trying to chase back into the base here, but kind of separated from the rest of the army. Archmage now reinforcing as well as the Death Knight. Well, leads the charge from behind. All right, Tauren Chieftain looking to put in pressure inside the base. We could see another Shockwave. That is a lot of peasants that could get taken down. Shockwave would rip through many of those peasants here. Are we going to see that? There goes 1, 2, 3, 4, lining them up and knock them down as the units are going to try and as well fight once more. All right, Sock desperately needs to get more and more peasants out onto the battlefield so that they can, well, not lose economically. All right. A quick reveal there. Not quite sure what the reveal was for. Meanwhile, Farseer comes in with the Chain Lightning, cleaning up more units again. And, well, red is completely surrounding yellow here. Yellow should have some home field advantage as both sides are continuing to put pressure through. Farseer somehow survives at 61 hit points and now trying to fight back the other way. A lot of range units going back and forth again. Keeper of the Grove could try to get off some entangles, perhaps try to finish off a couple of those footmen as the archers are, well, getting some damage reflected back. All right, there goes an entangle. Tauren Chieftain finally able to break free. We're going to see another grunt getting taken out. Headhunters retreating back, and yellow is able to hold off the attack. All right, as red retreats back, well, Sock is desperately behind now. He does not have Crota and family. Yep. He does not have tier 2. He does not have an expo. So economically, off to the north, well, things are a little bit stuck. We are at Keep by Yumiko, but and we see a Panda as the second hero. All right, both sides engaging here. That Panda, well, of Yumiko could have a very bad day trying to run all the way back home with Boots of Speed. Gets choked up on a raccoon, but still able to head back home. Meanwhile, Fly is moving out across the field. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 3. Invane has that Farseer and the Shadow Hunter to reinforce. We are going into tier 3 now by Fly, so trying to get up to Berserkers for that extra bit of hit points. Dark Wizard going to get taken down easily. Tome of Knowledge and then Kagar's Pipe of Insight. A beautiful item for Focus's Shadow Hunter to have a little bit more mana. Off to the north here, a little water elemental trying to cause some damage inside the base of Sock. Sock's now finally starting to attack to tier 2 again, but still desperately behind. Alright, water elemental and a couple of spirit wolves left behind to try and take down the last of these creeps. Meanwhile, on the southern side here, Yumiko's Panda is joining in on the fight. Tauren Chieftain is sitting at level 4. Panda getting in some heals. There's a healing salve there. And both sides still just fighting their way through. Access to the marketplace now available from both sides. That is going to be important. Panda ready to push through together. Tome of Agility picked up by the Death Knight there as the armies are clearing out all of the creep camps, and we should be seeing some big leveled fights coming up soon. Alright. A trail of red army now making their way off to the north. Going to finish off one of those. Well, I believe that was a bandit. Don't remember all of the mercenary units. My apologies. So many units to try and keep track of. Crippler now out here on the battlefield. Scroll of Town Portal landing straight up. Are we going to see a Breath of Fire? We do. A couple of skeletal minions get blown over easily as the Death Knight quickly getting trapped. Going to get hexed and get taken down. Panda able to escape that entangle. Death Knight falls at level 3 early on. Meanwhile, Priestess of the Moon bringing True Shot aura to the party with the Endurance aura as well, attacking faster, hitting harder. But the Lich falls also at level 2. That inbound Scroll of Town portal actually quite costly, as we see a Lich also fall, I believe, at level 2. Alright, both sides fighting. Torrent, well, using auras and working together is always a good thing, as the Death Knight forced to, well, use a Scroll of Town portal in order to get away. Alright, there's a quick tactical retreat right there, as the Crypt Lord is at level 1. And now we see, well, Focus's Expo about to get taken down. All right, Focus, did he have tier 3? Yes, he did. There was tier 3, so he had access to a tiny Great Hall, thereby building this Great Hall rather fast. Meanwhile, though, we're looking at Lightning Shield being placed down here. Focus is trying to get some repairs and builds an Orc Burrow instead, as the Tauren Chieftain trying to finish off a couple of hexed units here. One Raider low on hit points. There goes an Entangle. Are we going to see enough damage go down onto these units again? All right, low hit point Raider able to escape down. Nope, the True Shot of the Priestess of the Moon, or the Searing Arrow of the Priestess of the Moon, plus the True Shot aura, plus 14 damage. Enough damage done. Roar as well. So yeah, those units really doing large amounts of damage, plus 14 damage. Upwards of 47 even before Searing Arrows. Raiders off to the north here. Shadow Hunter, Farseer looking to try and shut down this Great Hall. Unit's going to try and do a tactical retreat, and here we are landing. Are we going to see the Tauren Chieftain land? Are any purges? That is the question. No purge, as the Tauren Chieftain tries to catch up to that target. Meanwhile, well, Undead and Human trying to put in pressure on Labyrinth space over here on the top left. Sock trying to retreat back to the far corner, as a Scroll of Town portal now saying an inbound of units, and these are coming down in off to the south. Insomnia going to be forced to try and retreat back here, as there are just fights galore. Scroll of Town portal now inbound onto Focus's Expo. Shockwave hits through a bunch of units, and there we are. Mountain Giants trying to land, and Undead suddenly flies in a tough spot. We're going to see a quick Impale. Chain Lightning bouncing around, finding 3 Berserkers to bounce across. A nice 1-2 combination. A Shockwave followed by a Chain Lightning cleaning things up. Back off to the north here, Raiders doing some hit and run tactics in vain, may be able to find some easy targets to perhaps try and pillage again. All right, going into engagement. Panda looking to go back and forth. Yellow Army fighting in the middle of the battlefield here. A quick ensnare finding in Vane's Raider. That's going to get taken down. Meanwhile, Panda going to try and engage here. There's some destroyers, and here we are. We see Bloodlust out here on the battlefield. So Flies, Berserkers are now attacking at a very fast rate, moving at a fast rate. Unholy Aura coupled with Tauren Chieftain's Endurance Aura. That's going to be incredibly fast attack damage. And now finally, well, getting slow, or just getting the slow, I guess, without that Berserker Frenzy. Both sides still fighting their way through. Keeper of the Grove trying to stay alive. Death Coil, Frost Nova, Staff of Preservation. Actually, no, maybe no Frost Nova, but Staff of Preservation there. Shadow Hunter, level 2, has fallen. So many fights going around back and forth as we see a retrain into Blizzard. Death Knight needs to retreat back as well. Priestess of the Moon coming in across from the other side. No more roars, but big damage still as the units are trying to engage. This wall of trees isn't going to amount to very much of Priestess of the Moon trying to retreat back here. And here we are, just yellow and red fighting in on all sides here. Wow, how do you keep this entire screen with all the action? Blizzard now raining down across the center. Units trying to retreat back. Berserkers are falling, as we see a bunch of low hit point units here getting picked apart. Scroll of Protection, Bloodlust, no Inner Fire though, as the Priest perhaps should need to try to start getting some adept training in. Blizzard coming across from Sock's Archmage, finding all of those casters who are low on hit points and in a bit of trouble. Alright, Kobold Geomancer also getting cleaned up here. Focus still able to mine pretty freely from this Expo off to the north, even though it's been under constant duress. Tauren Chieftain now sitting at level 6, going to continue this pressure here as the Shamans are putting down pressure again. Moon's Mountain Giants getting ensnared. Moon's Mountain Giant going to get taken down, but remember, that is medium armor going up against piercing and magic. That takes quite a bit of there's a lot of damage mitigation there, as a mass army of Mountain Giants now moving down across. We do see an Expo by Yumiko and an Expo by Fly now set up on the southern side, as a Blizzard still raining down, trying to clean up some of flies, casters that are tightly grouped together. Peons could be trying to repair here. More fighting getting underway. Tauren Chieftain gets Staff of Preservation back home, trying to keep all of these units alive. Tauren Chieftain, this Tauren Chieftain, a fly, pretty much doesn't care if he's amongst all of this fight here. Mountain King gets taken down at level 1. Crypt Lord gets alive again because of a beautiful Death Coil, as we see Healing Wave bouncing around trying to save that Death Knight. Death Knight, however, now in a lot of trouble. He's going to get taken out as a Blizzard still raining down. Tauren Chieftain, a fly, falls at level 6. No, is he going to fall down to 2 hit points? He does finally fall. He's going to get back up again as, well, Reincarnation was teched. All right, Reincarnation, Tauren Chieftain goes ahead, places down another Shockwave. More damage still racking up here. Mountain Giants trying to push their way through. Tauren Chieftain about 6.5. This Tauren Chieftain can perhaps still line up even more Shockwaves against all of these units as another Mountain Giant falls again. All right, another Crypt Lord falls at level 2. Another, well, Insomnia's Crypt Lord trying to stay alive, gets a Healing Wave and a Death Coil to stay alive, but quickly back down to 95 hit points. He tries to get an Impale to get away and escapes away at 12 hit points again. That Impale buying enough time as both sides are fighting again. All right, Tauren Chieftain still bouncing around, still has plenty of mana pots, could throw down a couple more Shockwaves. There's an Entangle there as both sides still fighting their way through. Tauren Chieftain uses a Potion of Invulnerability. Is he going to get a Healing Wave? He's trying to throw down Stomps, and in order to, well, cause problems. At level 3, did he do a Tome of Retraining suddenly? It looks like he did a Tome of Retraining suddenly, as Wand of Illusion being left behind there. All right, picking up a Wand of Illusion randomly in battle. There's a big Breath of Fire across as we're looking at a Blizzard, well, nearly taking down all of these peasants here. Another Breath of Fire should finish things off there as we see a level up by the Tauren Chieftain of Focus. All right, Focus able to hold on to this Expo off to the north. A lot of damage going back and forth, but remember, there are 2 Expos down to the south compared to only Focus's Expo off to the north for, well, for these players. Crazy 4v4 matchup. Well, country battles 4v4. If you're wondering where your opponent or your partner is, they're probably out of position. But when you're fighting together, it feels like you're constantly just tripping over each other as well, since the battles are so massive. Panda, Archmage able to escape away at 4 hit points. Scroll of Town Portal on the Panda. And then the Archmage escaping away at 4 hit points here. We're going to be looking at, some auto attacks finally finding their way to the Archmage, but don't really do anything. Just the animation. Tauren Chieftain, level 6, level 3 Stomp. All right, Keeper of the Grove, forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal to try and retreat. Moon, are any Mountain Giants going to go? No, they are not, as we're looking at this Great Hall finally going to get taken down. Raiders with Bloodlust. This is going to be a quick job here. Focus's Expo now gone. Back off to the north. Death Knight, Lich, Archmage trying to work together. Mountain King is here as well. Mountain King desperately wants to get to level 3 for that level 2 Stormbolt. A couple of hexes and, well, a lot of engagement. Well, we see the Shadow Hunter already in trouble. Are we going to see a no easy heals? That Shadow Hunter quickly going to get taken down. The Blizzard was not placed down on Red's army, instead on Yellow, as Fly's army could have, well, had a bit of problems. Tauren Chieftain still trying to fight their way through. Level 7 now on Fly's Tauren Chieftain in that backfield. Level 3 Lich has fallen as well. Blizzard still raining down as we're looking at more stun lock onto all of these heroes. Archmage forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal to try and retreat. It is now a 3-on-2 fight here. Both sides fighting their way across here. Farseer trying to push their way through here as we're looking at the, Priestess of the Moon looking to back up. Tauren Chieftain may be able to get in a stomp, shut down this Priestess of the Moon. Priestess of the Moon of Moon falls as a level 5 Keeper of the Grove falls, level 4 Priestess of the Moon, and a level 3 Tauren Chieftain. Red Army still pushing up from the south here, trying to clean things up and still finding ways. Meanwhile, Moon did have an expo offer. Did I miss this expo? Has that expo been there for that long? Oh my gosh, that expo has been there for a long time and I didn't even see it. My apologies. Yeah, Moon, of course, with the expo base, getting nearly half of the gold out of that gold mine. All right, main gold mines have about 7 minutes of mining left. Raiders are looking to dive in here. We're seeing a couple of ensnare moons, mountain giants absorbing damage. Tauren Chieftain, well, level 3 endurance aura, level 2 brilliance aura, plenty of shockwaves and stomps, and we're looking at more of a blizzard now raining down as well. All right, berserkers trying to find their way through. Sneaky moon, yeah. All right, sneaky moon base. So many death stars all over the place. All right, healing ward now placed down by Fly. So some tactical heals here. Fly actually going to use a scroll of town portal to try and retreat back out. Even though he looks strong, he doesn't want to be fighting where his partners are not, and well, thereby calls for the tactical retreat and regrouping. All right, couple of ensnares go across here. Panda Brewmaster gonna head back and regroup up with his partner, the Archmage there. Meanwhile, in vain looking to use some dire wolves to clean up this expo off to the north, trying to keep the economic advantage going. Expo of Labyrinth also mining quite nicely with that haunted gold mine. Southern side mining off of 3 bases. Yumiko having multiple bases here with Fly having 1. No undead base or, no undead base at all. All right. One lone spellbreaker caught on the wrong side here. We're looking at the Tauren Chieftain ready to put in pressure. Well, Watcher Ward and Stasis Trap here. Bloodlust now being cast down. And, well, Great Hall is very difficult to try and take out. All right, a Stasis Trap is there. They're going to be coming down into the south, trying to go after all of those units. A tactical retreat now by Fly to retreat back out. And this has pulled some of the army away from Labyrinth's base off over here. We're going to see some more, kills and destroys. Crippler trying to retreat back here, but we may need to see a tactical retreat as Labyrinth tries to come back over to repair or to defend his base. Yumiko sitting at level 4, taking a bit of damage. Death Coil, Frost Nova, Impale, as the Archmage now needs to do a tactical retreat out as well. All right, Archmage of Sock is going to be able to escape away down to 140 hit points. He is trying to survive. He is now going to be down to 66 hit points as a Scroll of Town Portal retreats everyone back home once more. Mountain Giants putting in pressure in Yumiko's base. Yumiko, however, does have Fly defending his base for him. Lightning Shield, however, will cause some more damage back to those units as there is a tactical retreat once again. All right, more scrolls of town portals have been used in this game than perhaps the last week of casting. Just so much need to try and save units and get into positions where you're able to defend. Dark Ritual denying that Crypt Fiend there as both sides are now fighting their way through. All right, in come Arcane Tower. Where is the landing of the units going to be? There they are. 2 inbound Scroll of Town Portals forcing Labyrinth to back away. And there is the tactical retreat again. Death Coil finding a priest in the back. Death Knight gonna get one final shot off. There's a Stormbolt onto the Death Knight. Death Knight now could be in trouble, actually taking quite a bit of damage from the Spellbreakers, removing all of that precious mana as the Mountain King hits with a strong level 2 Stormbolt, I believe. All right, Spellbreakers unable to get Bloodlusted. Priest able to do that as we see an obsidian statue trying to walk through an army of Spellbreakers. Instantly, all of that feedback damage, and nearly finishing it off. Archmage of Yumiko finishing off all of those acolytes there. Level 3 Blizzard working quite a bit of magic. Panda now looking to take down this haunted gold mine. One more shot, finally down. Meanwhile, over here on the top right, it looks like In Vain was trying to do a hit-and-run tactic, but didn't expect Focus's army to be right here. Farseer does have a Scroll of Town Portal. There's a Chain Lightning bouncing around. I believe he waited a little bit too long. One Raider going to get taken down. Healing Wave bouncing around again as we see more fighting inside Sock space here. Stasis Trap strategically placed to, stun any army that tries and protects here, as we may be seeing a similar strategy again. More Blizzard raising on down. There is the army here. Are we going to see some Impales? No Impales that the Spellbreakers are just going to be able to easily ignore, as the Tauren Chieftain trying to get into that frontline spot for some stomps. Death Knight gets up to level 5. I'm not going to even try to go over all the hero levels here, as a massive stomp from a level 7 Tauren Chieftain, well, it stuns down some of these units. Tauren Chieftain still pushing their way through. Mountain Giants coming in from behind. We see some healing wards placed down for tactical positioning and fighting, as the Moon's Mountain Giants should be, or want to try and absorb a lot of damage. However, the Bat Riders with siege damage actually going to do quite a bit here against all of these casters, and the Red's army is just actually taking quite a bit of damage here. Archmage, however, going to be in trouble, down to 88 hit points. Is he going to be able to retreat? Down to 45. He gets blown over with a breath of fire. Panda gets saved by a Staff of Sanctuary, as both sides still fighting their way through. All right, so much damage going around. Keeper of the Grove going to try and retreat back. Keeper of the Grove does have Tranquility now, as we see a low hit point Lich still somehow in this battle. Death Knight, is it going to be able to Scroll of Town Portal and take back that Lich? It looks like it will be able to do that, as a couple more Knights get taken down. No, Lich actually gets taken down a split second before the Scroll of Town Portal is able to whisk him away. Scroll of Town Portal trying to defend Moon's Night Elf, Night Elf Tree of Eternity, unable to do so. So that gets taken out here. Moon perhaps going to be in a little bit of trouble. No more mining. Dryads are getting trained up upside down on supply, unable to train up any additional wisps at this point in the game. All right, back to the southern side here. Little bit of poking back and forth. Keeper of the Grove, well, True Shot Aura, Bloodlust, Devotion Aura. I don't know, would Thorn's Aura even be useful in a game like this, as we're looking at a little bit of Orb of Venom damage applied as well. Mountain Giants want to knock down the hall, knock down this town hall and take it out. Keeper of the Grove could use Tranquility pretty effectively here. So many units to heal, as we see a Staff of Sanctuary bring back that Mountain King. All right, yeah, that Keeper of the Grove. Could you imagine the Keeper of the Grove with Tranquility and the Shadow Hunter support and also healing wards? How regeneration would be available to this massive team battle army. Expo of Fly down to the south, about to fall. This game has been a constant back and forth trying to figure out who is going to take the ultimate lead. And, well, a couple of peons being left behind here. Are they going to give any more hero level ups? No, they are not. Death Knight and Crypt Lord a bit too far away. All right, still more engagements, still some control magic there. That's going to easily get cleaned up. One ghoul, well, not quite sure what it's doing this far away from everything else. Could easily get, finished off here, as the Tauren Chieftain now makes its way over. Gonna, spank that ghoul there. Healing ward, stasis traps now placed down. You can see a lot of wards strategically placed out throughout the map. Wolves cleaning things up here. That's gonna clean those up there, as the knights are ripping into all of these peasants here. The Sundering Blade is doing quite a good job, as all of the peons are now gone here. All right, knights were on hold position. That's why they're not repositioning to that Great Hall, as we're looking at Blizzard coming down to take apart this haunted gold mine off to the north. Death Knight sitting at level 6, level 5 Lich, level 4 Crypt Lord, ready to engage again. It looks like Insomnia is ready to push in with a lot of pressure and damage. Yeah, Shao-Kai pushing in with a lot of that damage here. Meanwhile, back down to the south side, Castle could have a lot of problems. 65 over 58 supply. Yumiko's base about to fall as well. Both sides are turning this game into a bit of a base race scenario, and if both sides are in a base race scenario, I'm not quite sure who actually wins. Both sides can really deal a lot of damage. Death Knight now trying to retreat back. Death Knight is looking to perhaps try and protect this here, as we see a stasis trap, stunning down a Labyrinth's main army. Units are now falling back here. The Tauren Chieftain is a very long-term hex there, but really not in danger of falling either. Meanwhile, back across here, Archmage Archmage does have mass teleport, will be teleporting back off to the north. There's a Stormbolt onto Archmage of Yumiko, and that one Archmage could end up, well, nope, being forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal quickly. Troll Bat Riders suiciding themselves once more as the Farseer needs to find a way to retreat back. This could be very bad news. Any stun could be death of this Farseer here, as it doesn't have a Scroll of Town Portal. And yeah, I've never seen a full hit point hero blasted down that quickly. Meanwhile, back off to the north, Insomnia is trying to put pressure again. You can see Staff of Sanctuary trying to save some of Yumiko's units. Is it double or triple Staff of Sanctuary? Two Staff of Sanctuaries, one on the Paladin, one on that Archmage. Troll Bat Riders trying to finish things off here, and the Troll Bat Rider is actually dodging a bit of that damage here as the Archmage wants to finish off those Troll Bat Riders, perhaps to try and get to level 6. Priestess of the Moon falls at level 5 off to the north here. Still so many fights going on across the map as the peons are joining in on the fight. Every pickaxe of damage could matter as the Keeper of the Grove. I don't think Moon's actually been using Tranquility all that often. The only ultimate ability we've seen so far, I believe, is the reincarnation, that resurrection of the Tauren Chieftain. Death Knight now needs a tactical retreat back out. We're looking at some Banshees getting cleaned up as well. The Undead Army backs up again. All right. Both sides' economies are hurting quite a bit. Undead Labyrinth, I believe, the only one getting some mining in at all. So it's 1 base versus 0 in this 4v4 fight. Yeah, this gold mine has 700 gold left, but, well, no one can really mine from it either. Couple of, well, so many wards placed down all across the map. Tactical, well, knowing where your opponent is at all times and knowing how to engage against them could spell the difference between victory and defeat. All right. Knights trying to chase down the Spellbreaker here. We're getting into the last final minutes of the fight here. Red perhaps going to try and engage off to the north. The army sizes, well, difficult to spell out, but it feels like Red's army is significantly bigger here, as Focus does have a tiny Great Hall ready once more. All right, there goes a quick Hex onto the Shadowhunter. Shadowhunter could get taken out. Yes, getting body blocked by Controlled Magic Dire Wolves as they turn colors. All right, Raiders ready to put on pressure here. Healing Ward getting placed down there. A little bit of, well, Devour Magic there going back and forth. Shadowhunter falls at level 4. Focuses Great Hall about to get taken down. There's a little bit of Blizzard coming down as we're looking at an engagement and a fight for here. Mountain Giants trying to get into position. Berserkers could go into Frenzy. They are in Frenzy and have Endurance or are able to attack fairly fast as the Blizzard is still raining down. All right, Taunts coming about across as well. There goes Impale. Archmage going to try and use more Blizzard most likely. There goes, I believe that was trying to be a Tranquility, but it quickly got stunned out. No Tranquility from Moon as the Archmage of Yumiko now raining down Blizzard off to the north. Fly has a couple of stasis traps. Yellow's army completely stunned out here for a little bit. Healing Ward still offering plenty of protection, as the Mountain King of Sok could have a little bit of trouble. All right, Death Knight falls. Mountain King still alive. Death Knight falls at level 6. Are we going to see the Crypt Lord fall as well, as the Mountain King trying to back away? There goes the Crypt Lord. Red Crypt Lord falls down. Tactical retreat back out. Sok is still trying to hold on to this. Shockwave ripping through from that back line as the Keeper of the Grove has not been able to do much. Level 4 Crypt Lord, level 1 Shadowhunter now falling as well, as the units are falling back. Yellow able to hold on to Focus's Great Hall, still mining a bit of gold, and that is now 2 bases off to the north compared to 0 bases for the south. All right, Lich gets up to level 5. Keeper of the Grove sitting at level 6 here. I believe things have fallen apart for the Red Army. They are trying to retreat back now. Moonwell's still very full, can get in a lot of healing for everyone. Archmage going to be a tactical retreat here, as, well, what is going to be happening next? Tauren Chieftain wants to, well, finish things off here, perhaps get in a stomp, get in something, stop this mining on Focus's base. Scroll of Town Portal inbound as the Farseer shows up here. There goes a couple of ensnares. Tauren Chieftain, is it ready to throw down a stomp? Yes, it does. throws down a stomp, but without other units nearby, not going to be able to deal large amounts of damage. It's the stun that makes the big difference there, but without follow-up damage, it's just not enough. Fly still retreating back. Destroyer's able to devour magic here. There's a Death Coil. There's a Tauren Chieftain stomp again. There's an ensnare, and this might be the long, slow death as the Tauren Chieftain going to get finished off. There's a stomp again, trying to break free. Is he going to be able to do so? There's another stasis tap, and well, of course, the Tauren Chieftain's reincarnation is still, well, was off of cooldown. Both sides fighting their way through. Tauren Chieftain ready to engage here, as we're looking at a level 4 Tauren Chieftain off on the other side. Brewmaster falls at level 4. The Tauren Chieftain once more gets entangled and now tries to break down a stomp again. Alright, both sides fighting their way through. Mountain King falls at level 5. Tauren Chieftain is in trouble. He gets, well, he's getting completely owned there on the ground. The entangle causing problems as the level 8 Tauren Chieftain finally falls, giving level 5 to the Crypt Lord and level 6 to the Death Knight, and that is going to be the game. Yumiko has left, Fly has left, Insomnia has left, and that is it. Alright, a massive, massive battle going back and forth. Labyrinth, Moon, Focus, and Sock, the victors. Insomnia, Fly, Xiaokai, Fly, Yumiko, and Invasion, the losers in that battle. Let me know what you guys thought about this crazy, crazy game. If you guys were wondering what the hero levels were, here you are. Here you go. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.